My thoughts on digital mixing and the workflows of the industry today, I think it's essential we do it this way because a lot of times we'll be working on parts of several projects in one day, and having instantaneous recall is very important. Couldn't do that in the old days. We pretty much have to work through a project and get it done, or else a recall would be an all-day affair. Even with a console with recall where you match the knobs, and it would never quite match. Now having things come back perfectly within just the time it takes to load a session, of course, we can go from one song to another, or one score to another, one cue to another, and back and forth. Maybe record something in overdub and work on mixing something else, and build the project a little bit at a time in parallel with all the elements of all the different pieces of music in parallel, rather than work on one and finish it. So I think it really makes a more efficient workflow. The track counts are much higher in the box, but not in all cases are the amount of musical parts or the musical ideas more. It's in one way spread out a lot more, saving all the decision making till the end, which is both good and bad. Obviously, if you make the right decision early on and build the session and build the piece of music around that, it can be great because you hear and the musicians hear and react to something that's already been done. If the tracks are all separate and things are changing all the time, it's sort of, you can have a moving target. However, a lot of people really do it right and put together a good rough mix while going through, so it's added to that rather than that. But I can't speak for the film world because I know they're using tremendous amounts of tracks for a lot of effects and everything. But in music, I really find that there's probably not that much more information, but it's spread out a lot more, and there may be a lot more doubles, a lot more textures of the same part, augmentations of a part rather than different parts or ideas. My impressions of S6, I want one. I want it now. Even with the beta software, I'd give up having layouts to have this. No, I think it's, I really think this is a great step because it gives you the tactile aspect of an analog console that I'm used to. Gives you the control, more easy control over Pro Tools than the screen and other digital control surfaces have. The spacing, the layout is perfect because you can stay in the sweet spot. You can bring things to you. The displays are great because everything's color-coded for what function you're using. EQ, dynamics, sends, inserts are all, the knobs will all change colors, so you can't make a mistake and turn something and not know, hey, where did I have that before? Because you really know what you're touching. So it's giving you very clearly a lot of information that I haven't seen on any other control surface ever. And also being able to see waveforms and metering up on the meter bridge is great because you're not always having to look at the screen. You can sort of see, you can see very clearly what's coming and what went by. Also, this section, being able to select a track right in the middle, attention that track, where the whole channel expands on this screen and you can select anything to these knobs. You can really get into every aspect of a channel, every function of a channel, right from the sweet spot. And that's really the way I like to mix is to really focus on one thing, but be able to have a lot of other channels up because it's working instruments or vocals around something else. So you want to spend a lot of, you want to have your attention and full control of one thing you're focusing on, but you want to, without having to lose that, be able to change something in perspective with it. And that's a mix, and this thing really, I mean, it really complements the way I'd like to work.